Ableton user opens Cubase for the first time. I've got Cubase on my desktop. I've just got it all up and running. Let's open it up. So I'm doing a series of playing around with different DAWs. So the first time I did a video, it was me opening FL Studio and trying to use FL Studio. That was a bit of a challenge. Last week, I did Bitwig Studio, and that was quite easy. That video is easy to watch. There's not too much stumbling around. Today, I'm doing Cubase, and I don't really know what to expect. I think that it would be very helpful for me to use Cubase, but I don't know how easy it's going to be for me to use. So I've got it open here, and I'm just going to maybe, before I jump in and start trying to do things, I'm going to have a look around. So we've got mute, we got solo, we got read, we got write for all tracks. And I think maybe this is where a lot of beginners go wrong when they open a new piece of software. They don't really, like, they look on the surface, but they don't sort of try and look in, because all of these buttons and shit, super overwhelming. So obviously here I can search all my media and my VSTs. Okay, so if I want to find effects, mono delay. Okay, cool. So that's pretty intuitive and straightforward, and this is very similar to Bitwig's browser, Ableton's browser. But these buttons, okay, auto scroll, so I assume that'll follow along the play bar as it moves along the timeline. We've got object selection, range selection, draw, erase, split, glue, mute, zoom, line, play. Okay. Colorizing. Okay, so that's managing. So if I went and put a new audio track and I called it blue, oh yeah, my girlfriend would kill me for pronouncing that so poorly. There we go. It's blue. Cool. What do we got? We got snap to zero crossing. Okay, that's interesting. That might be quite cool for audio editing if that's what I think it is. Snap on or off. Yep, great. Snap to the grid. Yep, sweet. Snap to events. I wonder what that is. Snap to the cursor. Okay, these looks like some interesting snapping tools. Snap to the beat or to the bar. Okay. Use quantize, adapt zoom. What's this? This is apply quantize. Quantize presets to 16th notes or something like that. Okay. Iterative quantize. Don't know what that is. And open quantize panel. Cool. Oh, this has swing. Okay. Yeah, cool. The grid amount and the grid division, sorry. And then swing and then catch. I wonder what catch is. Oh, it's interesting that when you push that value up, the bar up the top kind of expands and contracts in terms of size. Okay, well, we'll close that. So next, we've looked at that. Okay, so we're showing the left zone. We can show, okay, so that's the mixer. Cool. Mix console. And then we've got setup window layout. Okay, we won't go into that. And here we've got setup. Okay, this could be useful. The first time oh shit, what am I doing? Actually, that's not what I thought it was. I thought it was the settings window. So the first time I opened Cubase, just before I ran the video, I just wanted to check that it was actually working before I started recording. And it automatically detected my sound card, like what I was using for sound and that sort of thing. So I've set that up. Okay, so preferences is here, and this is where we could set up things even more. Okay, cool. MIDI, yeah, cool. VST plugins. Cool. Sweet. So, yeah, that's not that exciting to look through. So, yeah, that's everything across the top bar. Here we've got an inspector. So I suppose if I create a new MIDI track, and I instrument track, and I add that in, it's added in a synth. Okay, cool. And when I move that, okay, yeah, so the selector is showing me what's on that particular channel. The way that this is set up is quite cool. How do I... So there's equalizers that I can utilize right away that's on there, but is there a... Okay, that turns it on. Turns the bands on. I thought there was a little window that would open up Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. So one thing that's hugely different between Cubase and Ableton is that this is like, just like FL, you open so many windows and you've got like so much shit happening where like this mixer's like hidden or showing and like taking up huge amounts of screen real estate, and without being negative about it, it is clunky, you know, like it's clunky when you're constantly opening up new windows other than obviously VST windows. That just has to happen, like it does in any DAW. So if I want to open that instrument again, okay, I click on that button. Oh, that even closes it too. Okay, that's interesting. And okay, so you've got the effect, and then it's adding like an equalizer, and then I could put an insert in there. Okay, so does that mean I could put an effect? That means an effect, I suppose. Yeah, okay. And if I double clicked here, maybe that's gonna put a MIDI clip. That was wishful thinking. Because yeah, I would like to put some MIDI there so that I could. Okay, that worked. I don't know why that worked, didn't it? That it didn't. Yeah, whatever. Double click. Okay, cool. I'm inside of it. Double click. Just turn my sound card off and turn my headphones on. And if I press spacebar, okay, so that delay is whatever. It's a bit intense, but so okay, so I'm drawing with that, but what am I drawing exactly? And how do I loop? So I've got that drawn. Okay, and now I can select. So before, whoa. Uh-oh. Go back. Come back. Okay, so it's still not looping. And bear with me a moment while I try and find. Oh, down here. See, I don't look for that either. So with Ableton, obviously, all of this stuff is up the top along with that gear. So that'll take a little bit of getting used to. So there's my BPM. What's that? Audio activity levels. Oh, okay. So that's like output levels and stuff. MIDI activity. Okay. Metronome. Set up transport. Don't know what transport is. Somebody tell me in the video comments what transport is. Okay, so now I've deselected what I had selected before. Okay, so I select by clicking on that very top gray bar. What if I click that? So that lets me place the cursor. Okay, so this is specific. So that area between there and there will let me move the cursor on the timeline. That area there lets me draw a loop brace or something like that, and then if I actually click on the little triangle, I can drag it open more, and then down here I'm actually selecting the timeline, which would let me move things like MIDI clips and audio samples. Okay, so you know that's really it's not counterintuitive, that's for sure. But I still don't see the loop brace, because that's not what is it. The loop brace? Maybe it is. Okay, so you go back there. Gonna turn that delay off just by bypassing it there. Excuse me. Okay, so we got that playing around. That's not very interesting though, but it's a start. We're getting somewhere. Let's keep looking at the features. So this is telling us the loop location. So if I draw that, yeah, okay, so that changes. Yep, so that's the loop location and the loop length, I suppose. So that's just the same as Ableton. That's the cursor again. Okay, I feel like this isn't actually as difficult as what I was thinking it might be. Punch in, punch out. Yeah, okay, that's similar. This isn't really that different to Bitwig or Ableton so far. Of course, it doesn't have the there's no session view, you know, but that, you know, I didn't expect that. I knew that that didn't exist. Okay, so this editor lets you do a bunch of things like legato, quantization, transposing, okay, semitone transposing, yeah. The mix console, the editor. So what's the difference between this editor and that editor? Is it the MIDI clip editor? Yes. Okay. So then the sample control. So let's drop a sample in. So we'll come into here. We'll go, where have I put my samples? Ableton samples. Let's just get a kick drum. Click, drag, drop. Okay, so it lets me, okay, it's going to convert from 24-bit to 16-bit. Why is that? Is that, I guess my project settings are at 16-bit. I mean, that doesn't really matter. There's not, I recently learned something very useful. The difference in bit depth is not in relation to the resolution of the audio. It has nothing to do with that. The difference in bit depth simply means the noise floor. So if you're dealing with something that's an 8-bit audio sample, the noise floor is higher than a 16-bit, and so on and so forth as you go up. So that's really cool. Okay, so I've got this kick drum and it's snapping to the grid. Okay, so if I click that and I go Control D, yes, duplicate. Control D, duplicate. Move that, move, oop, move that, move that. Okay, I'll just get him out of the way because he's a bit obnoxious. Okay, so I've got the 4 on the floor. I can tell already that my tracks in Cubase are going to be amazing. Oh, wow, what's this? What is this? Tell me in the comments below, please, Cubase users. You need to help. You don't understand. I am a low-life pleb. I use Ableton. I only produce electronic music. You need to educate me. I don't know your ways. Okay, well, oh, what does that do? Okay, that Z opens that up. And these are how I zoom in and out. Okay. And my zooming in and out is based on what? It zooms in on where the cursor is on the timeline. But when it zooms out, I suppose it's essentially zooming out from where that is, but because I'm at the beginning of the timeline, it's just a bit cooked. Okay, and that fattens or widens that. That's an interesting parameter to have. That's very interesting. And what does that do? What is this one? Oh, okay, that makes the samples either like look fatter or... Okay, and then, so if I zoom back in, surely plus and minus moves you along the timeline. That's weird. Interesting. Okay, so let's just zoom in a little bit. I feel like we're maybe getting to the end of this video. It's been a pretty good first look, let's be honest. I haven't dilly-dallied around too much. The kick looks nice. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to come... Sampler control. Okay, so we got the edit here. Bit depth, sample rate. Okay, so it's telling me the information. Yeah, all right, that's pretty cool. What if I come here and do this? Whoa. Oh, is that the volume? That's the volume, cool. And then, yeah, that's a fade. That's a fade. Can I bend that fade? Cubase users, you have to help me on that one as well, bruz. If I drop that in there, what does it do? Whoa, here we go. We got a sampler. We got a sampler. Cool. All right, well, let's end it there. Great first look at Cubase. Looks pretty user-friendly. I reckon I'll be able to get into this. It'll be good for me to get into because a lot of psytrance producers use Cubase. There's a lot of people that want to learn Cubase. People like the way that I teach, so I feel like I can bring something to the Cubase community. So bear with me while I learn this DAW inside out, and then I'll be coming at you with some beginners tutorials for Cubase. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. I might be having a look at Studio